Welcome to the CUR President's Quarterly, where we get to interview our 2022 to 2023 CUR President, Dr. Ruth J. Palmer, and hear straight from the Executive Board what is happening in CUR behind the scenes and in our community. I'm Elizabeth Morris, Director of Brand Engagement for CUR, and I'm so excited to be here with you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me.
I'm always glad to talk with you.
Not so much be recorded on camera, huh?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so I know that this is the start of the membership year, the academic year, your presidency. There's so much stuff going on. It's September. I mean, it's just crazy. So thank you for taking some time out, and let's just dig right into what is happening in this community and get a glimpse behind the scenes.
Okay.
Let's start with you. Like, you're our brand new president. I know your term started July 1st technically, but everybody enjoyed a summer and now they're back and they're getting into full swing. So let's let the community get to know you a little bit more. Can you tell us about yourself?
I'm faculty emerita from the College of New Jersey, where I was in the academic department, the academic area of educational psychology. And there I focused on my research focus, teaching and community service was learning, evaluation, and research. I worked there in the School of Education, Department of Secondary Education for actually 24 years. The last year I spent as research fellow in the Office of the Dean.
Okay.
With my learning, with my teaching, research, and community service, the population I focused on all the time was adolescents and emerging adults. So that means high school, middle school, high school, and then that early years of college. I totally enjoyed it, but I'm also happy as faculty emerita.
So we had mentioned before that you love to travel, but the goal for right now is just to soak in the life of being retired and not to travel, right?
Yes, because for me, it was unfinished business in a number of areas. I think it was 2015 when I was active in CUR, and I thought really one of the things that was missing in CUR anyway, and that I needed help with was education. How does one do research in schools of education and undergraduate programs? So I co-founded the education division to be able to do some of the things that I wanted to do, which is research with students. So for right now, there's still an effort to expand, deepen, strengthen the research that's being done in schools of education and departments, secondary, elementary, early childhood. So for me, that remained unfinished business. So this faculty emerita retirement did not mean dead stop and only travel. It meant, can you finish some of the work that you started and then be able to hand that over well packaged to other people in education? So I'm still working on that, and we'll see. I'll let you know when I'm done.
Well, we are very, very excited that you did set yourself up like this, because I don't know where we would be without you. So yes. But so we do this weird thing. I don't know if it's weird. I actually love it, but we ask these questions, just so far crazy questions about trying to like just get to know you. So I'm going to just ask you one that we've asked all of the national office staff and our past presidents. And which do you prefer, coffee or tea, and why?
Both, actually. Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon, evening.
Okay, how do you like your coffee?
with cream and sugar,
Okay.
but dark, which means strong. And
I knew you were gonna go there.
and when it comes to tea, it depends because tea I can do either with or without sugar, with or without cream. It depends on the time. If it's later in the evening, well, it's cream and a little bit of sugar, so that you're heading towards the sleep time, so you just do it gentle. But no, both of them, love both of them in their right time. So coffee
I
in the
always
morning,
I always
tea.
love that because
Mhm.
you hit the nail on the head because of how you answered it when you said I love it strong. A lot of people say that however you have your coffee or however you would have, whichever one you prefer, coffee or
Mhm.
tea, the way that they describe it is the way that they would describe themselves.
Oh.
So I would agree you are a very strong woman. But I always laugh because I love my coffee and tea very sweet. I love it with honey in my tea, and I love my coffee with a flavor,
Oh.
particularly caramel. Um,
Hmm.
and so everyone's like, "Oh, you must be super sweet." And I'm like, "It's not what I would
Yeah.
naturally describe myself as."
Listen, coffee is just the wake up, the extended wake up call. I think of coffee as my second alarm clock. So it's not flavored or anything like that, simply because I think I I'll say this. I don't want my coffee contaminated with anything. So
Totally
the
get it.
second alarm clock has to go out loud and clear, and I can continue my day from there. So,
Straightforward and strong.
yes, ma'am.
All right, let's move on to membership. We are just starting the year, this new academic year. There's tons of new things going in with our membership journey for those who are new and for those who have been here in the past. I know that, and we both know that CUR always tries to implement new benefits or bring forth benefits that may have kind of fallen off or some people might not have been focused on in the past due to
Mhm.
relevance or whatever it may be. So can you just highlight a little bit more about what this membership is and what onboarding does for our members?
First of all, let me just say, I extend a hearty welcome to all members of CUR at the beginning of the academic year as we manage it. And that means new members and those who are returning. Uh, it's always so very good at the beginning of the year to kind of reset, not just with so that what is the continuity, those who are coming back, for example. So the onboarding for me for the last month has been meeting with the chairs of the divisions, and it, making sure that I understand, having read their action plans for the year, we can talk about it, offer critiques. So that's like one side of it. The other side of it is making sure that all of the chairs for each division and for committees are well informed, well positioned to do their leadership roles. So that idea of leadership has been like a theme, continuing theme. Um, in addition to that, there are a number of a whole set, a host of materials that you at the national office have prepared for us as volunteers in the organization. So the idea of, again, tuning people into the contacts at the national office, that's number one, but more than anything else, the resources in the communities. So the divisions, their information, and the various committees where, for example, chairs, new chairs, there are resources in the community that make sure that they have access to. So that's those resources there mean that anything we do this year in terms of change and continuity, those resources will be located in the communities so that not only chairs can access their communities, but then in broader areas, folks just seeking for additional information about CUR can go into the community, join communities, and probably want to start other communities. So you have conversations and all of that. So that's one of the things, the establishing the community and ensuring that those communities work for everyone. So with resources, with information, access to other groups that you can model then some of the things that you do. That gets people into literally forming communities, reaching
Mhm.
out of their own zone and over into others. So um, if we, that kind of onboarding, but more than anything else, again, from the national office, the monthly newsletters highlighted. I mean, I love receiving them because it's kind of like a reminder about what's on your calendar, what you can pay attention to, and the options of programs that are there. So those monthly pieces of information are the kinds of things that here again, it's like there is someone on your shoulder reminding you that here are the things that's going on within your association. Here are areas that you can volunteer. And here are also areas that there are learning opportunities, the
Yeah.
opportunities for conversations, the opportunities someone is doing mentoring, and you say, oh, I would like to either participate in that, so that those announcements kind of orient the newcomers and those who are coming back to say, okay, here's what's new. Here is how you fill your tank of information, and you can then set your parallel calendar for
I love
what you're going to learn and where and how you can volunteer. So uh, keep a, I recommend for everybody that you keep an eye out for those monthly reminders, because then you can build your own calendar. There you also get new publications, we learn about governance transformation, we learn what's happening on the board, and and we celebrate too. We celebrate some successes, and we caution, very cautiously move towards ensuring other successes in the work that we do. So for me, the onboarding, August, September, uh, that's the time when we pick up the speed again to go for a new year, because most of the divisions and committees will start working again in September.
it.
So
Yeah, definitely.
I look forward to that, because now here I can switch over, because I have worked with the chairpersons. Um, I've been able to talk to division leaders about, and now it's the next roll over into the activities of September, October, November, and those are coming fast and furious.
Yes. September is always a super, super busy month because
Yeah,
everybody does get back to campus, whether
yeah,
it's, mid to late August, but then they really get into the swing of things in September. And you're right.
September. Yeah,
Those committees, those divisions start meeting again. They start making their decisions for opening up awards,
yeah.
grants,
Mm-hmm.
um, putting out information for their division to start
Yes.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Something so funny is it is 95 degrees here still. And I have to light this pumpkin spice candle next to me to make me think and remind myself that we're like going into fall because my inbox gets flooded with, hey, can you do this? Can we help out with this? What can the national office do for you? And
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I expect that to happen, but I'm just like still like it's so hot outside. I'm not into this fall swing, so I have to get myself into somehow. So I have this
Yep.
pumpkin spice candle that I light so I at least smell fallish in the office. So I can kind of
But
put my head into that space.
but I tell you what, I mean, I very seldom kind of go out into the town here. Um, but I was so surprised. I went out and all the advertisement for Halloween and Thanksgiving, those things are already up. And I'm like, it's still August. Would you kind of, because everything seems to be rolling so fast that I am
Mhm.
like, can we go fast slowly a bit?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, you know that by the end of this month of September, like holiday for like Christmas will be out, and that just throws me completely off. And I'm like, what in the world?
yeah, the
So
disappearance of the year, it's what I say. So we have disappearance of weeks, days, weeks, months, year.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
um,
it's crazy. Well, okay, so out of all of that, what is one thing that you are most looking forward to this membership here?
let me choose from the many things that um, one of the themes that we're working on for the board is um, to get towards an informed and engaged board. And that for me is exciting because that has to do with the continuing work of the former presidents uh, along the way of governance. That's number one. So that the idea is understanding and practicing the training that we receive to be a board of a nonprofit organization, but not only to be a member of that board, but to be fully engaged. And that means engaged about the work of the board, but more than anything else, I think what that does is open us out to the programs, the programming, and the connections with the national office, the CEO, that kind of work. If nothing else, what I enjoy more than anything else is my solitude, yes, but collaboration. I think it's the greatest gift that we can get in terms of work that needs to be done. So for me, it's leadership in undergraduate research, the new and the different, but also that we do it collaboratively to become the best possible. I think it may sound over ambitious, but winning is good. Um, that we can be well informed, perfectly informed, and so well engaged that what we do, whether it's at the board level, at the national office level, in the divisions, in the committees, that we really stay engaged with the mission and the vision of CUR. That gets me excited. That gets me slowing down my days so that I can be present to the tasks that need to be done and working with others to do that work. No, that gets me excited and keeps me excited.
That's great. No, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I feel like the end goal is just it's going to be so exciting to see, and
Yeah.
it's almost like it's not an end goal. It's just a constant.
A,
You're just
yeah,
going forward.
a constant renewal on the mission and the goal setting and refining that as we go along so that the commitment is not an empty one.
Mhm.
There are products, there are results. This commitment to research and to research thinking it's exciting because what it is for us is actually creating a future.
Mhm.
And that gets me excited. That you when you come to the realization that you can actually participate in creating the future, no, that's something to wake up for in the morning. I can tell
That's so true. Yeah. So you did touch a little bit more on the board's focus for this year.
you.
Um,
Mhm.
so with that though, and you also mentioned before that there was volunteer opportunities happening. I mean, a lot of volunteer opportunities that are coming up in the fall, whether
Mhm.
it be abstract reviewers and things of that sort. But one of our biggest ones is to join the board
Yeah.
or to join these committees and counselors via our governance elections that are going to be launching.
Oh, yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more about what our members should be expecting come this fall from these 13 divisions, and what executive member or executive board member positions would be available?
Yeah. The thing about fall, and this is back to getting the work that is done and disappears as we start up in September, but beginning in September is that whole business of nominations. Here are the divisions, and divisions are able to have 24 counselors. It's a question of meaning you have to be working hard to convince others in your content area, or if you are across content areas, uh, that it is important to do this work. You have to be enthusiastic about it and be able then, because the nominations begin towards the end of September, and it's a fast moving thing. So, the nominations committee will work on getting the information out, but it's the division, not only the division leaders, but all members of the division need to be the ones who are going to, be out there advocating for folks to join the division, because
Yeah.
it seems as though if you can get 24 people, they can do much more work than 6 or 10. And so that the goals that you set, the division set, it would be something that can be achievable because you have more hands to the fire. So that's one thing. So it's a idea of, if we have newcomers, get to know what your division is doing, and be able to direct people to the website, to the pages on the website, the division pages, the membership for the division. So if you can contact somebody, and then you have the counselors who would represent the divisions on your behalf. So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is the um, nominations for the general rep to the board, and also your council rep to the board. So that too, again, it's yes, there are those who would nominate self or be able to present themselves in follow the sequence, and either get themselves into into these elections. But then it's also important for other members to tap people on the shoulder and announce to them if you think that they qualify and they can contribute in those positions, because they are contested positions and there are only 2 for each one of those. So for September through October, I think is the span for nominations, getting your information in, for the vetting of those, and for the nominating committee to do this work. But I would ask everyone listening to this recording to really participate at that level. Get to know your division, get to know the counselors, look around so that you can be able to canvass for a diverse pool of participants, so that the divisions can become that rich place for generating ideas and innovative things that need to be done.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. I think, you made a very valid point of reaching out to your division, whether you're undeclared and you're just looking for a division, or
Mhm.
you are involved in the division as just a division member, but you don't hold a counselor position or a volunteer position or anything of that sort. If you go to our division pages on our website, you can
Yeah.
see who the chair is.
Yeah.
The email is linked directly there. You can email them and ask them, like, how many division counselors are you looking for this upcoming year?
Mhm.
what does it take to be a division counselor?
Yep.
Now, this year, CUR is going to be, the national office is going to be doing a little bit different in the sense of where we are putting together, getting some quotes from counselors and putting together like a recruitment thing to kind of explain to those who have never taken that step and might be a little nervous
Yeah.
to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
And it just kind of breaks it down of like what it means to be a counselor, what your job duties are. And so that will be coming out soon. And I do encourage you though to talk to these division counselors. They're all located right on that division page, along with the chair. They're there for that. They want that extra help. And they need motivated people who are going to help their division thrive. And so that's a great idea, just to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have so much going on,
Oh.
including the governance elections. We have a lot of events happening in the fall. There's just an assortment of things for our members, for outside, for undergraduate research community to be involved in. So why don't you start and reminding us of some of these upcoming deadlines that are just happening in the fall?
Well, yes, I would love to do that because there is so much going on. You just have to be careful to grab them and put them on your calendar. Because what I love about this is there are some continuing things, but there are so many new things that I would really ask people to kind of go onto the website and get the information. For example, the Scholars Transforming Research, Transforming Through Research, that is CUR's advocacy program. I mean, I am excited for this new program and the spring symposium, which will happen in April. Now that, and I every time I see an email from Lindsay, it's under her name right now, so it's the banner that she's carrying, and I was like, yes, this is innovative. This is taking what we already had as programs and transforming it into now a richer, much more engaging activity on behalf of students and their research. So that I'm excited about. In addition to that, the conversations and programs, new conversations and programs that are coming up. The latest publication, Confronting Failure, and the authors are now being invited and the editors to come into the conversation series. The conversation series, here again, a place for meeting people. It's, talking about new ideas, new issues that are current. But this one is just confronting failure. In other words, it shows up in our lives. And how do we do this, especially as we apply it to undergraduate students that we work with? And the kickoff, no, I think I have this one correct. The kickoff is September the 15th. No, and I will say dates now when I'm saying, please check behind me on that. Failure is not a word to fear. So that will be the beginning conversation, I think. So that's one. Then the other one is centering DEI practical tools for sustaining transformative racial equity in URP. So here is another one. It's an online intensive that you must register for. So that's also coming up. So here we are with the conversations, and then this input now for us to be able to say, okay, let's look again at CUR and DEI. What does that mean? Because DEI is one of our central committees, working committees. And of course, it's not only the responsibility of the central committee, but everybody's business to demonstrate a balance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all the other aspects of it. So those are like the new things spotlighting that we can use, some of them, not all of them, that we can spotlight for participation. But then there is, we need to think ahead to NCUR. um, 2023. Here we are talking about a whole other
I
year.
know, I know.
Which is being hosted by University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. And I think they're going to be opening abstract submissions on October 1. So in other words, as we look to, yes, we have a date in 2023, but all the steps that need to happen towards getting that. So check back on the website, check again, work with your students so that you can have them ready with their work for NCUR. And with NCUR, the most exciting NCUR, no disrespect to anybody else, was my participation in NCUR in Kentucky, I think. I was so impressed. It
What
was
year was
some
that? Oh, okay, we're not okay, we don't have to say the year, no.
Uh, I can stop and count back. I can count back and get back to you on that one. But what I was interested in there was hundreds of students doing posters, but to go to some of the sessions for the arts and humanities, which
Mhm.
so different areas that we often um, don't get to see performances. The pianists and musicians. And so for me, NCUR is about students across the divisions, but also the fan sessions for faculty who accompany students to NCUR. Again, an opportunity for faculty to get together for
Mhm.
conversations around topics. So NCUR for me is always pretty exciting. Then the big one, Connect UR 2023. So that too is on the move, and we have an advisory group working with that. So for me, these are just the few that I'm putting out here, and that you can fill me in with. But it's, in other words, as we start the year, we can plan the year and mark our calendars, and not only for the things that we do, but that we encourage others to participate in. So I'm excited about the year. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, this
I
is what's happening on the front side. But it's like the iceberg. There's a whole lot of moving parts below the waterline where everybody's active. So for the folks who are working on all of these programs, and these are only part of the things that are happening this year. It's like, thank you for the work that you're doing. And for us, we honor the work by participating in it.
yes, I'm very excited to see what these advisory groups are going to be doing with Connect UR. I'm excited to see University of Wisconsin Eau Claire and how they put together this first in-person
Person,
for in
yeah.
several years.
Mhm.
Um, and I think it's going to be very interesting. We have, as you mentioned, 2 new programs happening this fall. We have
Yeah.
all of our registrations, including dialogues, abstracts for Connect UR, all opening in the fall. It's a very, very
Yeah.
busy time frame,
Mhm.
but I feel like, as you said, it's the time that thankful for the committees and the advisory groups that are helping put this together,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
also it's to show that the community itself is asking for this stuff, and they're
Yes.
asking to get it done and on their calendars,
Yeah.
because not only is the fall busy with openings of asking for abstracts, opening of registration,
Mhm.
getting that budget approved,
Yes.
but the spring is busy in general with events, as well as what's happening at the institutions with, semester wise.
I know. It's here is the preparation, and
Mhm.
then here is the activity. But
Yeah.
the activities that are scheduled for the spring, there's the back work that needs to be done. Here's the conference, but we need your abstracts. Here is World CUR, but you still must register. as I was looking at the calendar, kind of filling in my own calendar and saying, yes, and here are the deadlines that you must pay attention to, because if you don't hit the deadlines, well, um, your plans are not going to mature.
Yeah.
But the idea about the whole year is kind of grab hold of the future and then back into it, backfill the things that need to be done. That makes it exciting. That
Mhm.
makes the work that we do, and more than anything else, to highlight the students and have them own their own their research and own their research thinking. Because for me, it's not only doing the research, but being able to really embrace that approach to how you solve problems, that you can recognize problems, become a part and parcel of your everyday life. It's exciting. I ask everyone, join the excitement. And like I said, let's do the work now and let's celebrate at every point as we get along the way. So,
Yes,
um,
definitely. Well, okay, so that was a lot of information, a lot of things happening. Um, a lot, this is our first President's Quarterly of the 2022 to 2023 membership year. It's
mhm.
only going to get crazier from here. Um, and crazy in a good way, right?
Yeah.
We are super excited to see what is coming up. We are very excited for this transparency and this communication. I thank you so much, Ruth, for taking time out of your day to sit here and have a conversation with me and to inform our community about what is happening. It is so important to have that. I call it a lifeline, basically, of
Mhm.
what's happening behind the scenes,
Yeah.
because people are sick of hearing from me. They want to hear from their own peers and people who are getting the same stuff that they are. So I definitely appreciate it. Um,
Mhm.
just a quick reminder, if you all do have any types of questions that you would like me to ask Ruth in our next CUR quarterly, Ruth is like, oh, please don't. You can email me at emorris@cur.org. The
Mhm.
next quarterlies will be released in December of this year and February and May of 2023. In between those, we will have e-news as well, so you'll always stay informed, and of course, onboarding too.
Mhm.
Ruth, do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, to everyone, to you in particular, thanks for this. You know that it's not one of my things that I'm like, okay. It's one of the things that I do, but it's the video thing is the challenging one for me. But other than that, I would want to invite everyone to participate in the year, as they can find their way through the many activities, because I think the one goal all the way is about ensuring that curve it finds its legs in this new environment in which we are functioning, but not only find its legs, but be able to set a path towards the future. um, that's my goal in the year, just to ensure that the work that we do and the best that we give, both from the point of view of the volunteers and the permanent workers in CUR, the national office, that we become the people and the drivers behind learning through research. That's it.
Yeah.
Have a good year, everybody.